Good morning all. Today we'll be doing South Asia and the contemporary world, and today we'll be covering the topic democracy in Bangladesh. From 1947 to 1971, Bangladesh was the part of Pakistan, that is East Pakistan. You can view the map. The whole landmass of India was between West Pakistan and East Pakistan. East Pakistan was the eastern provincial wing of Pakistan, covering the territory of modern country Bangladesh. Its land borders were with India, Burma and the coastline of Bay of Bengal. East Pakistanis were popularly known as Pakistani Bengalis, and also to differ this region from Indian state of West Bengal, that was called as Indian Bengal. East Pakistan was known as Pakistan Bengal. How did this problem arise that the demand for Bangladesh came up? The people of this region resented the domination of West Pakistan and the imposition of Urdu language on them. Since their language was Bengali, Urdu language was imposed on them. And we have read that how these popular struggles actually arise. These arise when one culture is trying to overlap the other culture. And this is what happened in Bangladesh. So the people of East Pakistan began to protest against the unfair treatment towards the Bengali culture and the language. What they demanded? They demanded fair representation in administration and fair share in political power. So they came up with the 6-point demands. These demands were from the people of East Pakistan. Since 1960s only, the people of East Pakistan under Awami League and under the leadership of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman were doing strikes and protests, and in the course of which a number of people who were protested were killed under the police fire and many were injured. So Sheikh Mujibur Rahman and his party came up with 6-point demands that included Pakistan would have a federal structure of government based on the spirit of Lahore Resolution of 1940, with the parliament elected on the basis of universal adult franchise. The central government would have authority only in defense and foreign affairs, and autonomy would be given to East Pakistan. There would be 2 freely convertible currencies for 2 wings of Pakistan. The power of taxation and revenue collection would be vested in the federal units. There would be 2 separate accounts for foreign exchange reserves for the 2 wings of Pakistan, that is West Pakistan and East Pakistan. East Pakistan would have a separate military or paramilitary force as a measure of its own security. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman planned to announce the 6 points at the conference of the opposition parties in Lahore in 1966, but he was not permitted to do so. So this further agitated the protest. The civil military bureaucracy and politicians stranding both governments, opposition circles were quick to dub the 6 points as the successionist plot. What is successionist? That is, they are asking for more autonomy, they are asking for freedom. Instead of listening to the demands of the East Pakistan people, instead of accommodating their demands, they thought it as a secessionist movement and took violent steps against the protesters. When we look back at the history, both East and West Pakistan remained united because of their religion, that was Islam. West Pakistan had 97% Muslims in 1947 and East Pakistan had 85% Muslims. However, there were several significant reasons that caused East Pakistani people to fight for their independence, to fight for their rights. Because West Pakistan had 4 provinces, that is Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan and Northwest Frontier. The 5th province, that was East Pakistan, and the West Pakistan had absolute control over East Pakistan. East Pakistan had largest population among all the provinces, but when it came to sharing the power, holding power, political power, West Pakistan had more authority over it. So there was no accommodation towards accommodation in Pakistan, and whenever there is no accommodation, it leads to civil war, unrest, and that is what happened in Bangladesh. The very fourth and the important point here was that Sheikh Mujibur led the popular struggle against the West Pakistan's domination. In 1970 elections, the Awami League, which was led by Sheikh Mujibur, won all the seats in East Pakistan and secured a majority in the proposed Constituent Assembly for the whole of Pakistan. But the government dominated by West Pakistan leadership refused to convene the assembly. This was another big reason for them to wage a war, to ask for the demands of a separate country from Pakistan. So Sheikh gave a speech on March 7, 1971, when he urged the people to turn their homes into the fort of fight. He demanded the transfer of powers to the elected representatives before the assembly meeting. But West Pakistan did not give any concessions, did not listen to the demands of East Pakistan, creating further chaos, further killing of the people. Pakistani army was sent to East Pakistan. Sheikh Mujibur was arrested under the military rule of General Yahya Khan. Pakistan army tried to suppress this mass movement of Bengali people. Thousands of the East Pakistani people, general civilians, were killed by the Pakistan army. Why did India have to support? India assumed an active role. Indira Gandhi ordered air and ground strikes. India, having superior equipment and forces, mounted a three-sided movement on Dhaka from Indian provinces of West Bengal, Assam and Tripura. Indian soldiers, Air Force and Navy defeated the Pakistani army, while the Bangladesh Navy helped India. On the ground, 3 groups of Mukti Bahini and Indian forces. Mukti Bahini was the guerrilla army of Bangladesh, and Indian forces fought the Pakistanis. The Pakistanis tried to fire back, but they failed and they actually surrendered. Why India had to support Bangladesh during the war, during their demand for freedom, was because large scale migration of Bangladeshi people were coming to India, creating a huge refugee problems for India, and we will be discussing this in book 2 when we do Assam as a state of India and the problems there, and the successionist movement and the problems of the refugees in Assam. The government of India supported the demand of people of East Pakistan for their independence and helped them financially and military wise. The result of India's helping Bangladesh led to Indo-Pak War of 1971, that ended in the surrender of Pakistani forces in East Pakistan and the formation of Bangladesh as an independent country based on democratic principles. Bangladesh drafted its constitution, and in its constitution it put its faith in secularism, democracy and socialism. So these are the principles on which their country is run. Soon after drafting the constitution, there was a military rule under Ziaur Rahman, as he formed his own national party and won the elections in 1971. So once they had established the democracy, they wrote their constitution, they drafted their constitution. In the constitution, they gave faith to secularism, democracy and socialism. But soon after, the military ruler Ziaur Rahman formed his own party, Bangladesh National Party, and won the elections in 1979. Ziaur Rahman was assassinated, and after his assassination, another military ruler took over, Lieutenant General H.M. Irshad. So one after the another, there were military dictatorships in Bangladesh. But there was a support of democracy in Bangladesh. Students started the protest. Irshad was forced to allow political activities on a limited scale. He was later elected the president for 5 years. This is the photograph from the NCERT. The photograph is the part of various political photographs for the struggle for democracy. In late 1980s, Bangladesh entered a period of turmoil. It was because there were demonstrations, strikes and unrest. People were asking for democracy, people were asking for freedom of speech and expression, people wanted rule of law, equality before law, and end of the authoritarian rule of General Hussain Muhammad Irshad. So Shahid Alam recorded, the photographer Shahid Alam had recorded all these photographs, all these pictures from the protest. This picture in our NCERT is one of the most well-known activists of the struggle against President Irshad was Noor Hussain. So in this picture, it is the photograph of Noor Hussain being painted as a graffiti on one wall. He was protesting against President Irshad. He was killed by the police during the protest, and he is remembered as a martyr of the pro-democracy struggle in Bangladesh. So Noor he actually died later in November 1987, soon after Mr. Hussein's death and ahead of the planned 72-hour strike. The government declared the state of emergency, that is, taking away all the basic liberties of the people. So under this mass protest, Irshad stepped down in 1990 and elections were held in 1991, and since then the representative democracy based on multi-party elections has been working in Bangladesh. How can we say that democracy is going to be still working in Bangladesh and there will not be any military rule? Is because if we look at country Bangladesh, they are almost homogeneous, same language people, same religion. Provinces for caretaking, there is provision for caretaker government. People are eager for, even they are poor, but they are eager for democracy in their country. Whenever one prime minister is changing to another, the transition is smooth. There is a responsible civil society. Independence of press is there, media is there, and newspaper is there. Privatization is there, liberalization is there. The NGOs are playing very important role. There is women empowerment in Bangladesh, and there is a march towards two-party system in Bangladesh. So these are the future prospects that in Bangladesh democracy is there to stay. The current Prime Minister is Sheikh Hasina, and she has been the Prime Minister for 3 terms, 1996 to 2001, 2009 to 2014, and 2014 to present. The political party that she belongs to is the Awami League. The opposition leader is Khalida Zia, and she served as a Prime Minister from 1991 to 1996, then from 2001 to 2006. There are various opposition parties. The Bangladesh Nationalist Party was found after Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was assassinated. The party centered on nationalism and military, which helped to stabilize the young nation. Today, the party's champions, that is economic liberalization through favorable industrial and economic policy anchored by nationalism. So we see that in Bangladesh, though there had been twice the military rule, but the prospect, the future of democracy in Bangladesh is very safe.